Today I just wanted to share a really quick tip with you guys about how to improve your productivity of plants like pumpkins and also plants like eggplants. A lot of our garden members know this tip, but it really helps. We're talking about pollination. You may assume that pollination in your garden happens with bees, and even if you have native bees like us, the thing is, not all of your pollination will occur from bees. Hand pollination can significantly improve your yields, and it's really easy to do. All you need is a female flower. That's a flower that has a small fruit going on the bottom, and a male flower. Oh, no fruit on the bottom. It's okay if you remove these male flowers, although if you only have one or two on your plant, you may want to keep them for future use. Make sure you don't remove the female flowers, however, as these won't develop into a fruit unless the flower stays until the plant has been pollinated. By pollinating your pumpkins, you can ensure that each small fruit turns into something like this. As soon as it starts growing, you know it's been properly pollinated. But if it starts to yellow and die, just pull it off. That's rotting. And that will give more energy to the fruits that are pollinated properly. You'll see inside the male flower, we've got pollen on the stamen. This pollen is what's used to pollinate the flower and then fertilize it, and that will develop into a fruit. This fruit down here on the female, it will shrivel and die if it's not pollinated. So what we need to do is we open up this flower too. You'll see the structure in the side of the female looks a bit different to the male. Now we've opened up the female, we can either get a bit of pollen on our finger from the male, or just rub the male itself into the female. All is needed is 1 grain to get onto the female structure, and then that pollen will travel down into the ovary and fertilize the egg. However, more pollen is better to increase the chances of success. This technique isn't just for pumpkins. Like I said earlier, it can be used for everything in the pumpkin family, such as zucchinis and cucumbers. However, we found that cucumbers and melons don't need it so much as pumpkins. For eggplants, the technique is similar. You also use your thumb to brush pollen between flowers. However, in eggplants, flowers differ slightly in their reproductive structures. In eggplants, most flowers have both male and female parts. The male parts are those yellow stamens forming a circle, and the female part is that green stigma in the middle. Once pollinated, the fruit will swell and the flower will die and drop, and that's how you know with the swollen fruit that the fruit is going to grow. So just brush your finger between flowers. The pollen won't be so evident on your finger because their pollen is very, very fine. But as long as you keep transferring it between the flowers, you'll be ensuring that your reproductive success is higher and you'll get a lot more eggplants in your plant. Hand pollination is also really useful for improving the productivity of your passionfruit vines. Similar to eggplants, passion fruits have male and female structures in the same flower. The males are those yellow stamen covered in fluffy pollen. You can tell the females because the little fruit structure is actually inside the flower, and on the end of it is a stigma, which is where you want to brush the pollen onto.